Welcome students. Today we are going to touch topic of important geophysical phenomena such as earthquakes, volcanic activity, cyclone and tsunami. These topics are very important from competition exam point of view. Nearly all competitions do have questions on these topics. So this becomes very important topic for all competition exams. So let's start. Geophysics is associated with physics of earth and environment in space. It deals with earth using quantitative and physical methods. Geophysics is about geological applications such as earth's shape, gravitational and magnetic fields, internal structures and compositions, its dynamics and their surface expression in tectonics and generation of volcanism, rock formation and magma, etc. Contemporary geophysics organization describe geophysics as hydrological cycle including snow, ice, water, wind, fluid dynamics of ocean and atmosphere, electricity and magnetism in atmosphere, ionosphere, magnetosphere, and solar terrestrial relation. Problem associated with moon and other planets related to Earth. Geophysical phenomena and society, they both interact in direction which have both directions. It has been observed that geophysical forces are associated with Earth and it affects society. Basically, phenomena like geophysical phenomena, earthquake, tsunami, volcanic activity, cyclone, geographical features and their locations. Critical geographical features including water bodies and ice caps are also covered in this. And effects of such changes are the topic that we are going to study. Societies sometimes are unable to manage proximity and relation to geophysical risks. There is a poor and declining monitoring and forecasting facilities available for mankind, and so warning system which is very sure cannot be developed. So any single danger can have consequences far beyond the range of immediate physical activity. But these happen in so huge intensity that it is very difficult to control, except with circumstances of scale and extent of mechanism that support them. Physical effects and consequences of these physical effects are no dissimilar from these events where windstorm, earthquake, volcanic outbreak, tsunami, etc., causes natural disaster every year. Geophysical events are low frequency consequence that it does not occur every time in the year, but only few times in a year, and when it happens it's very difficult to control, or consequences are very devastating. Geographical events have quite a big effect on world environment, market, and people as whole. This may occur as a result of severe terrestrial cooling in response to volcanic eruption, or some asteroid hitting Earth, or asteroid not exactly hitting Earth or passing near to Earth. As a consequences of these, global market are affected, and people are also affected in a big way with a tragedy like tsunami or floods or many other things related to nature. So geophysical phenomena causes worldwide problems, which is consequences of living standards of people who doesn't understand that what they are doing and how they are affecting nature. Due to this, there is imbalance in nature, and these type of phenomena happens. So disastrous geophysical events have destroyed many people in last few decades, such as climate, volcanic eruption, and volcano activity, and many other phenomena, similar phenomena in last 20 years. So it is very clear that these type of phenomena affect human life, and we are unable to control these natural phenomena. But there are steps that we can take to minimize these losses. Now, disasters we can categorize in many ways, but main thing that is natural disaster, it may be tsunami, earthquake, flood, landslides, volcano, and similar type of disasters. Other is human related disaster, that is disasters which is caused by humans, human errors. And human beings are doing many things which they don't feel that it is wrong, but nature doesn't recognize this, and so disasters happen due to this. We have already seen that disaster is happening in Himalayas. People are building homes in large numbers, and government is doing number of activities such as tunnel building, road building, and many other similar activities which causes this disaster, or which can cause the disaster. Exact things are not known at present, but main reason for these disasters is this only. So now we'll study about earthquake, that comes under natural disaster. So earthquake is tremor or shock on the surface of earth due to sequence of shock waves in all directions from its place of source, which has an epicenter which is under the earth, and it may be few meters down the earth or maybe few kilometers inside the earth. Earthquake is considered very dangerous, and we have seen that number of earthquakes have happened in last many years, 20 years, and this has caused very huge destruction and casualty to human life, and human society have been affected due to this. Earthquake is caused by sudden shaking of earth due to accumulation of strain energy along the fault within the earth's crust. Area of surface or fracture that is happening down inside the earth can result in earthquake, and these zones are called earthquake fault zones. Environmental reports have shown that 15% of earthquake happens in Latin America, and even in many Asian countries. There are some specific places where it happens more, and at other places it doesn't happen, or sometimes happens. So we have made a scale to measure these activities. So power of these earthquakes can be measured on Richter scale using an instrument called seismometer. It detects vibration caused by the earth, and it plots vibration graph on the seismograph. Strength and magnitude of earth is measured by this Richter scale, and scale is numbered from 0 to 10. That means that if earthquake is near 0 and a positive number, then earthquake intensity is low, and if it is near 10, we consider this earthquake very intense. Now, relationship between earthquake and triggering hazards due to earthquake. This has been shown by many authors with a beautiful diagrams and photos. Now we will study about causes of earthquakes. We all know that there are numerous cases of earthquake in a year on the earth, and these cases that can result in huge loss to mankind, in which devastating natural disasters happen. Earthquake can happen due to release of energy inside the rock. Now, seismograms from many earthquakes, scientists have revealed that three main levels of shells exist inside the earth crust. First is outmost surface of earth. The crust is comparatively light and fragile. Most earthquakes occur within the crust. These are considered by scientists as lithosphere. Is a relatively narrow mobile zone in the mantle of Earth's sphere. Mantle is just area which is at the center of Earth or near the Earth crust. That is near the center of Earth. Core is beneath this mantle and its innermost part of the system, and we can call it exactly center of Earth. These Earth core consist of fluids which are molten metals and many other type of elements that remain in molten form, as heat is so much that everything melts and remains in liquid form. Tectonic plates are present in the form of rocks which have moved very slowly during last century. It is frequently caused due to movement of rocks inside the earth, and due to these movement there are possibilities that some rock move faster and some slower, and there is gap between them, and due to this there is earthquake. This also leads to creation of seismic waves called earthquake waves inside the surface. The point at which these earthquake happens or originates, first we'll take original point or a point at which it originates or focal point of this earthquake. We call it focus or hypocenter point on the earth surface, near to which is epicenter. So plate tectonic theory, as suggested by many scientists, says that cause of earth, but the most dominant theory and plate tectonic theory deals with factors of causing earthquake was given many years back. Now, outer surface of earth is composed of tectonic plates which are about 100 kilometers thick and moves continuously in the same direction, sometimes moving slow and sometimes moving fast. These speeds are so minute that it cannot be measured. So all the rocks inside the earth, they are the part of this plate. Now earth liberates inner heat. The heat that is accumulated inside the earth is released, and these heat are massive heat. Sometimes when these heat are unable to move to the surface, it comes out as volcanic eruption. So volcanic eruption can be seen as release of energy which accumulates during years and years, and once accumulation is very large, this comes out on the surface of earth as volcanic eruption. Now there are many other causes which can be assigned to this volcanic eruption. So hot asthenospheric mantle increases to the surface, and these brings along with them heated rocks and many other metals that comes out of this volcanic eruption. Earthquake is an explosion only in the outer portion of these plates where temperature of rocks is very low. Now deep inside our earth, convection of rocks caused by temperature difference, which reduces stress inside the earth's surface, and once this stress is normalized, this volcanic eruption stops. If accumulation stress surpasses the strength of rock comprising these brittle zones, a rock can break rapidly, releasing stored stretch energy in the form of earthquake, and these rocks are thrown on the surface of earth, and we know this by the name of lava. Now there are three type of plate boundaries which is associated with this earthquake. First of all, spreading. Now second is convergence, and third is transformation. Depending whether the plates move away from the or towards each other, things happens when one plate touches another plate and stress is created between these two plates. Now these stress produce lot of energy, which is inside the earth, and it goes on accumulating, and one day it may happen that this energy is so high that it comes out to the surface of earth and result is volcanic eruption. Now, what is the effect of earthquakes? Effect is very huge. It hurts our economy, people, and environment as a whole. Due to this, building can fall, lifeline can be disturbed, fires can be triggered, and many chemicals that can be released which are very harmful. Sometimes radioactive rays are also released, and which is harmful. So there's very huge amount of loss to the public or people. Even floods, avalanches, tsunamis, and landslide on the mountains can happen due to this. They are very big effect on socio-economic and political arena also. They can disrupt medical aid, law, production can drop, or anything that was produced is destroyed, unemployment can increase, economy can go down due to this as a whole. Now, due to earthquake, building can be damaged, or it can only shake and become very unstable, and cracks may happen inside the buildings. It may also lead to ground displacement along the fault line, and buildings and other things can be destroyed. Flooding can happen, as sometimes these earthquake happening near the dams can damage the dam, and water that is accumulated inside the dam can cause floods and can cause big destruction. Now this usually happens when earthquake is more than 5 on Richter scale or greater. Destruction may happen when earthquake is of 3 also, 4 also, but chances of destruction is higher when it is of magnitude 5 or more on Richter scale. Now, we have seen that due to these height of mountains are also increase or decrease due to these natural phenomena. Now, earthquake can happen on the earth's surface which is near epicenter, and effects of these earthquake can be felt thousands of kilometers away also from the epicenter. So we have already seen that if earthquake is happening somewhere in the Himalayas, where epicenter is in the Himalayas. Tremors are felt thousands of kilometers away, also in Delhi or in other cities which are thousands of kilometers away. Now this can cause mountains or higher areas to shake, and due to this landslides can happen. Many tragedies which are happening in mountain are due to these earthquakes. Now we have seen that it doesn't happen at one place. Now we will take example of Himalaya. Sometimes it happens in extreme east side of India, that is in Assam or Arunachal Pradesh, and next time it happens in the mid-range, say near Bihar or UP, and on the other day it can happen in the northernmost side of India, that is in Kashmir. So usually we cannot say that it is happening at every place at one time. It can happen on one place at one time and other place at other time, due to fact that these rocks that are inside the earth, movement of these rock causes this, and places where this movement happens is the reason of these earthquakes. Now we have to see that how we can minimize these effects on our earth due to our efforts. Although effects of nature is so vast that it is very difficult to control that, but steps can be taken to minimize these effects. So for this, scientists have made many efforts, and they have been successful in prediction. But exact time of this earthquake no one can predict, but scientists can track the movement inside the earth by the help of graphs, and they can predict that this might happen in 10 years or 15 years or movement or any time between these, due to uneven movement of rocks inside the earth. So it is very difficult to predict exact time, but approximate time range, that is, can happen within 10 years or 5 years, they can predict, that can be predicted. And they also have given different levels of seismic activities that can happen in that area, and they are named that zone. So there are different names for zones which are very risky, and there are other zones which are less risky, they have been given other name. So we don't have any system by which we can stop these natural activity, but once it happens, we can have system by which we can minimize the losses of these earthquakes. So this was all in the talk on earthquake, and now some thing about how we evaluate earthquake. Now scientists have made maps of these earthquake zones. So in earthquake zone, earthquake prone zones, scientists collect information about the history of earthquakes in this area, and by using different formulas they can predict that in near future this can happen, which helps scientists to draw plans on how to minimize losses or how to tackle these earthquakes in such a way that people are not affected too much. So today we have talked about some points on earthquake which are very useful, and we will continue this talk on earthquake in future also, but today we will take one more subject on this topic: natural disaster. This cannot be controlled, but planners have drawn various graphs and predicted how this can be predicted. So they have named different zones as earthquake prone zones or low earthquake zones, and similarly other names have been given for area which are more prone and less prone. So earthquake prone zones, we can plan buildings which are more stronger and resistant to these earthquakes. Now engineers can build buildings that are earthquake resistant and that can tackle earthquake of Richter scale of say 5 to 6 and 7 also. So they can help in making buildings which are resistant to earthquake which are not of major nature, that is very intense nature. So we can prepare people in the earthquake prone zone on how to tackle earthquake properly and what actions to be taken during the earthquake so as to save life and save property and minimize losses. So how to build buildings, how many buildings should be there in that area, and how people can live there. They are prepared for the earthquake, they are trained in steps that can be taken during earthquake. So these are some factors which are essential for people which they should take during the earthquake. Similarly, government can plan steps in various areas which are more earthquake prone and educate people of different area in different way so as to tackle these earthquakes properly and minimize losses. So it's very important for governments also to carefully plan steps for various areas and educate people in that area how to tackle these calamities when it happens. So today we talked about earthquakes and some steps that can be taken by people and government to make it less destructive. Thank you.